Today we can read the headlines of a massive heatwave covering Europe, almost paralyzing some of its economical processes and leaving the people without vegetables and fruits. This is not the first summer that is causing water shortages and crop failures. The frequency and duration of the occurring droughts is what makes the situation risky. Not only poor yields for fruits and vegetables, grains and animal feed are concerning, but also the impact this drought has on supply chains and the infrastructure. Media reports cover the melting of roadways and twisting rail tracks. European infrastructure is just not made for such harsh weather anomalies. Also, due to the low water level in rivers like the Rhine and Danube, barges have to sail with much lighter loads and delayed trips, which is all costing a couple of billion euros. Considering the repeated mass demonstrations happening in Europe with tractors blocking highways and city traffic, farmers were already going through hard times. They have been protesting against EU diesel excise duty rates, as well as restrictions such as the demanded reduction of nitrogen oxides and ammonia, meaning that they had to reduce livestock numbers and cut fertilizer use, which of course was weakening their business. Later, when the support for Ukraine started and tariffs on Ukrainian exports were removed, more expensive EU products couldn't sell because of higher input costs such as fuel, fertilizers, etc. Here yet again we see additional economic difficulties due to risen costs caused by the sanctions against Russia, which was one of the main fertilizer suppliers to the EU. Accompanying that, the EU was conducting a more and more liberal foreign trade policy throughout the years. It cancelled state export subsidies for farmers as part of the World Trade Organization and now opened up its market for South American exports with the Mercosur trade agreement. Big agricultural corporations can rely on insurances and bargaining power, but small companies and regional farms are less protected. The EU's common agricultural policy provides some support like emergency aid, but these measures are not sufficient enough in the case of these long-standing difficulties. In the face of these climate risks becoming regular events, the EU and NATO explicitly state climate hazards as security threats, linking them to military readiness and analyzing the effect they have on potential enemies. This securitization of the environmental sphere is interesting with regards to the news of alleged climate weapons used against Iran. And surprisingly, the series of droughts happening there came to an end as soon as the US meteorological research sites in the United Arab Emirates have been destroyed. So now a serious question arises on the possibilities of manipulating the weather to use it as a weapon for hybrid warfare. Nevertheless, the new reality of droughts in Europe, even if they are not artificially created by some external actors, are becoming part of a broader risk that politics are reacting to with an increasing military securitization. Please read the article linked to this video if you found it interesting, and see you next time.